Hey music friends, this is Davi Vasc. I'm a music composer for games, and today we're gonna listen to and talk about the track called Creation and Beyond from Stellaris. I've heard of that track forever. People have been recommending it to me, but I've never listened to it and I've never played this game. I don't even know what it looks like. So let's go. Immediately sounds like space, as expected. That's very cool. They're holding one single note on the bass, and look at that, and they're adding more notes. Oh. Amazing. This out of a sudden became super emotional. But I found it interesting here at the beginning how they started the song just holding this. It's just an infinite sustaining note. This immediately gave me the sensation of space, right? Because it's an infinite note. It just keeps sustaining forever. It never changes, like something immutable and timeless. During this sustaining note, there was like a very lonely melody. This melody, right? Very lonely, very small in comparison to this entire empty space in the empty acoustic space, right? Because there's so few instruments playing. It creates a sensation of emptiness. And then it explodes here. Man, I'm interested in knowing what this game is about. I've heard about this game, but I have no idea what it is. It clearly has something to do with space. The cellos now. Oh. Is that a big melody? Oh. That's an interesting chord. Amazing. I feel like there's a lot of romantic inspiration from this, as expected, right? I feel like it's almost mandatory when you're making music about space to be inspired by these romantic composers like Gustav Holst, right? That made the Planets Symphony, and consequently John Williams, right? Which was also inspired by Gustav Holst. So there's some kinds of chords, some kinds of transitions here that almost sound cliche for this kind of romantic symphony kind of genre. And when I say romantic, I mean the Romantic period, which was a period in music around the 1800s where this kind of music was popular and it originated. Let me show you some of these romantic chords here. Check this out. Happy chord. Unexpected happy chord. Sounds so glorious and majestic. It feels like it's trying to portray the awesomeness, the majesty and vastness of space. That chord back there was not supposed to be so happy and glorious. The guy went out of his way to include a chord that doesn't belong in the key so that the song would feel so glorious like this. Oh, synth! Yeah, I noticed some synth at the beginning of the song. I was wondering if he was going to come back. There's a nice rhythm going on. And the song is constantly changing key, by the way. Very interesting. Chords here. This is just a loop. It's just looping these two chords. It's interesting because this chord here, the first chord on the loop, sad chord, right? I mean, there's not a lot of tension in it. It's like the chord where the song rests, as we call the tonic chord. There's a sensation of resolution, of rest. There's no tension in this chord. And then from here, it goes to this chord, which is not only a happy chord, but also there's also no tension in it. It's not a tense chord at all. There's almost like a spiritual quality to this sequence of chords because it feels so at peace. It feels like you're floating. There's no tension in it. So it's like you're playing home chord and not tense chord. Very space-like. There's an ethereal, spiritual quality to it. Oh, it's becoming more intense. And now the spiritual sequence is gone. They're not doing it anymore. The brass. There's more of a militaristic feel now. Listen how militaristic this sounds. I feel like we're going on a journey. Throughout many different kinds of sensations. Oh. Now there's tension. Oh, very cool, man. Very cool. There's some drama here now. Look at this. Very cool. Did you see the tense chord? So it seems obvious to me that this is the main theme of the game, right? Am I wrong? This feels like it's trying to portray the many facets of this game because there's so many different moments in this. There's like moments of peace and spirituality. There's moments of drama and adventure and militarism. There's moments where it's trying to portray space and its vastness. There are moments where it's trying to portray some sort of adventure, some sort of drama and story. So I feel like it's trying to encapsulate the whole meaning, the whole gist of the game in this many facets. there's synths there. I love the combination of the orchestra with the synths. Oh, super emotional, so dramatic. Listen to the strings are crying out. Militarist part again. Very cool. There's a good balance of emotion with tension. Okay, we're gonna calm down a little bit now. Oh, we're going back. We're going back to the spiritual chords, remember? Spiritual. We're floating in space. This is so cool, man. And it's a long theme as well. With a theme this long and this complex with these many different parts, it makes me even more curious about the game. It must be like a highly, I feel like a highly complex game with many aspects to it. And the lonely melody. The lonely melody in the vastness of space. Is it about to end? I feel like it's fading out. It fades out on the eternal loop. Remember how I told you that these constant loops sound like eternity, sounds like the endless vastness of space. Man, it's so cool for them to end on a fade out like this, on an endless loop. That's very cool. This track was suggested by Krad Nosnatev. Hooray, Krad Nosnatev. And hey, if you have a track that is important to you from a game that you love, do like Krad did and get on Patreon, share that track with me over there so that I can share it with the world. After all, this is what this channel is all about, sharing the music from the games that we love with each other. So remember, whenever you're ready to spread your wings and go on a music journey again, I'll see you there.